remember what we did 3 weeks ago?
Um, well, first of all, we may or may not have accidentally killed Squirtle Belmont,
Right.
and we're trying to defend ourselves there. And that, listen, we couldn't tell that was a guy. That was a weird, mysterious, dark thing attacking us. And at least where I'm from, when weird, mysterious things start attacking you, you kind of just defend yourself.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
we were also looking for Moan Brida, the other one, the Belmont, the one that's not the one that's name is not pronounced the same way.
Yeah. So last time, Worf Belmont, the actual descendant of the Beaumont bloodline, who you were mistaken for, enlisted you to help rescue Brida Belmont and Squirtle Belmont,
Yeah.
who were his other two cousins. Who he said they were ambushed on their way to Castlevania, and when he woke up, he was the only one left. And he thought the other two, if they were still alive, were being kept in the dungeons of the castle. So he enlisted you to help him. You made it all the way down. Squirtle spent all of his link summoning Rayquaza after
That's
your
right.
teleportation magic went awry.
Oops.
And then, and then, yeah, you made it all the way down to the dungeon. Moonbrita, you sensed a really dark aura coming from deep within it. You followed that to where you found this sort of empty chamber. Worf busted through the wall, which is when you got attacked by the same like hooded Grim Reaper figure who attacked you earlier. Attacked you with the scythe, and then Worf and Moonbrita were both like, "I'm sick of this shit," and teamed up and Omni slashed
Yeah, dude.
the Reaper into pieces. Which is
It
when it
was
was
sick.
which was when it was revealed that what you had actually just killed, according to Worf Belmont, was Squirtle Belmont. That's where you are now. You just destroyed this Reaper figure, turned it into dust. Worf said, "You killed Squirtle Belmont," and now you're in this chamber that regular Worf had just busted through the wall into. There's a pile of
Worf.
dust on the ground. Regular Worf. Classic flavor Worf.
Worf classic.
And yeah, there's just like a pile of dust and bones left on the ground from where Squirtle Belmont was before. And Worf Belmont has sort of just fallen to his knees in front of it, like in total shock and despondency.
Listen,
Okay, so first of all, you go first, Worf.
I apologize. I thought he was a figure from Klingon mythology.
That's right. You thought that you were in the Klingon afterlife
Yeah.
last time.
Well, and I thought he was an entity that in my realm we call void sent, which are creatures overwhelmed by dark magic. Now the thing about void sent is that they can't actually die if they're in an area saturated with dark magic. As long as they have enough dark magic, they'll just keep coming back to life. So we may not have even killed him.
Yeah, and Worf Belmont just seems like totally shell shocked. Like you guys are trying to explain yourselves to him, and he's like digging like through the dust and bones. Like maybe he'll like find something there. But
Okay,
yeah,
hang
he
on.
seems pretty shocked.
No, keep talking. But I'm looking at I'm finding the moves page.
Okay. Anyway, but you
Show
guys,
me the moves.
so yeah, if you were to look around, so you remember, you had busted into this chamber where Moonbrita had sensed the dark aura coming through the wall. Now that you're no longer being attacked. You are able to sort of get your bearings and look around, and you realize that you are in a sort of not like a huge, but a decent sized chamber. It's lit by torches again, like everything in this castle is, lining the walls. And in the center of the room, you see a large coffin that is bound with chains. and it seems to have some kind of like machinery hooked up to it. There's like eldritch wires and arcane panels, things like that, leading off attached to this coffin that's bound by chains in the center of this chamber that you found. That's the only thing you see in this room, though, other than again the dusted corpse of Squirtle Balmont.
Moonbrita, this seems like your thing.
Oh, fine. I was gonna have a chat. I was gonna try to have a chat with Worf, but maybe Worf, you should have a chat with Worf. Or Squirtle. You know what? Squirtle maybe should have a chat with Worf to try to get him out of his thing. But I'll go examine the thingy. Yep. I guess I'm gonna deep dive the device, the Magitech.
Okay, so what do you want to know? Well, give me the roll first.
I was actually, and then I'm gonna, before I give you the roll, okay, so there's a coffin, and there is some kind of Magitech device attached to it.
Yeah, that's how you would refer to it.
If there is, yeah, it is. If there is any other information that I can determine just by, like, walking around and looking at it without doing a deep dive, like, just from knowing Magitech and knowing this kind of thing, like, or is there anything else notable about it? Like, is it got, like, a giant red ruby on it or something?
It has not googling anything really quickly. Just I don't know. It's a big black coffin, and it's got some kind of I guess you would call it like an eldritch font inscribed on the lid in like white text,
Comic
but nothing that you
Sans.
can read. Not a language that you recognize. And but again, it's pretty much everything else you can tell is from just looking at it is what I told you. It's bound, it's wrapped in these heavy duty chains, and hooked up to some kind of machinery.
Okay.
And again, it's the only other thing in this room other than torches.
So Moonbrita's already gonna speculate, even without rolling. She's gonna say, so from experience, this looks to me like something is contained within this coffin, and that something is being used to power this Magitech. I think what I want to, I'm gonna, let me roll then. Okay, so that's it's 2d6 plus heart, right?
2d6 plus heart. Yep.
That's actually an 11. So that's a 10 plus, and you have to answer 2 questions honestly.
Yep. So give me 2 questions.
Is there an entity inside here?
So you don't hear anything coming from inside of it, but you are able to tell Moonbrita that this is the source of the dark aura that you were detecting.
Okay, so I flipping down my goggles.
Yeah, looking through your your aetherometer, you're able to tell that like this is like that the nexus of that dark energy that sort of drew you to this point of the castle.
So my hypothesis regarding that something inside this coffin is being used by this Magitech to generate this darkness is probably correct. My second question is the entity inside the coffin dangerous to us?
Again, I don't know how you'd be able to tell that other than through the information you've been able to gather. You do sense, again, there is a very dark energy coming from this. I don't know if you necessarily sense
well, okay, so how about since you weren't really able to answer my second question.
Yeah, I'll give you give me 2 half questions.
How do I open it?
You do not see a visible lock. These chains are just sort of like you there's not really a visible separation in the chains. It's almost like they are attached, I don't know, perhaps magically.
I was gonna ask, surely I was thinking the chains were wrapped across it and like attached to the floor.
Not really, honestly. It's sort of like they're sort of crisscrossing it like this. It's done up like
Just goes
shibari
around the whole thing.
style.
Yeah,
But
so
yeah,
just
there's not
so
a
it's so
visible break in it.
welded in place.
All right,
Exactly.
Let's see if this other guy can help us.
So yeah,
I
while
go
you
over
are
by Wharf Belmont, and I
okay.
put my hand on his shoulder, and I sort of go, this is no way for a warrior to act.
And so yeah, you put your hand on Worf Belmont's shoulder as he's again on his knees, sort of shell shocked. And as you do that, he flinches and spins around on you. And he says, what do you know about how a warrior should act?"
What doesn't he
I say we have all lost friends on the battlefield. You see my yellow insignia? That is because I am the security officer of the USS Enterprise. But I was not the first. When I was there, I was merely a cadet, a lieutenant, some other. I don't know military. I don't know Starflight rankings, but I was below someone, Tasha Yar.
Oh,
She
yeah.
gave her life in order to save all of us. On that day, I took on her responsibility, as well as all of my own. And I shoulder that burden with great responsibility and pride.
And Worf Belmont says, "You think that you losing your manager is equivalent to
Jesus.
me losing
He wasn't. Come
Squirtle
on, man.
Belmont was the most honorable warrior I ever knew. And you two." And he sort of he gets up, he kind of like rises to his feet. He says, "First you steal our identities. Next,
What?
you kill my best friend from my best cousin friend. We didn't have friends growing up because we were training all the time in our vampire killing family. Squirtle Belmont was my only friend other than Moonbrighta. And you killed
can see
him."
her wince whenever he pronounces it that way. She's like,
Wrong.
okay, listen, Mr. Belmont, I have a theory, actually, and perhaps you can help me out. I think your Squirtle friend is still alive. I hypothesize, he may actually, the real him may be trapped inside this coffin and being used to generate this darkness and to generate that creature.
Says, like what do you
summoning?
Says, what do you what?
Like he was being used as fuel for a summoning.
Gotcha. Says, what would you know about it? You weren't even you're always talking about these strange things I don't understand.
He just gives him the most withering look and is like, "Sir, I am an Archon of the..." She points to her tattoos. Do you know what these tattoos mean? These tattoos mean that I spent 10 years studying magical phenomenon and magic technology. Okay? They don't give them to just anybody.
He says, and with that, Worf Belmont, he glowers at you. He says, I've had enough tattoos. Have at you. And Moonbrita, he strikes at you with his whip.
Okay, hell no.
See if I can interrupt that.
What a dumbass. Yeah, Worf, you go first.
Well, he's
real
attacking
Worf.
you, but I think I have a thing that can...
Yeah. Oh, right, because you've got the thingy.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, Worf, you are closer. Because, Moonbrita, you moved to the center of this room to examine the coffin, and you guys were closer to the entrance. But yeah, he seems like he is just not... He seems like he's kind of lost it. And in his grief and anger, Moonbrita, he is attempting to strike you down.
Okay.
Because you confused him with your magical technobabble.
I think even Worf understood what I just said. Hey, Worf, there's a guy. He's stuck inside the warp core.
This doesn't use trilithium crystals. No,
Well, but wait, it uses crystals. Oh wait, we can work this out, man. They're both
now we're talking
crystals.
common language. What the fuck?
I really like the sort of I don't know the mutual relationship between Worf and Moonbrita, where like both of you seem to consider the other one as like completely backwards hicks because you just come from completely opposite settings.
Yes.
Like Worf
Yes.
just doesn't understand anything about like crystals and magic, and
of course, Moonbrita's like, dude, what? You don't. He keeps talking like physics doesn't exist. Are you dumb?
right?
Let me roll. I can use my signature weapon. I have a bonded link with my Batleth with light. I'm gonna roll with light today.
Okay.
And because Moonbrita needs my help, and I will aid however I can, I gain lift.
All right.
So
Sweet. Are you trying to affect the
I
outcome
rolled
here or
fucking
what?
12. Yeah, can I give me?
Okay, sick.
Give me affect the outcome. There.
Okay. What are you trying to do then?
I don't want him to hurt Moonbrita.
So on a 10+, you can either give lift to someone or prevent an action entirely. So you were trying to prevent him from striking Moonbrita.
Yeah.
So how do you do that?
I'm taking my Batleth and I'm just gonna get right in front of him and just like put it in front of myself and hold it there.
He's gonna.
And he's
yeah,
got a
you're
whip,
gonna, like,
yeah.
you're gonna,
or is he?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
gonna
So
catch
yeah,
that.
he was rearing up to strike out at Moonbrita with the whip. And Worf, you seeing this happen, you move in front of him and you sort of you pull out your Batleth and you sort of block the chain.
Yeah, that's exactly.
And so now like he's holding the. So I think like he was going for the backswing, and you sort of hooked the chain with your Batleth, and now you two are kind of like locked in a standstill.
That's fine. That's awesome.
Yeah. And so he's straining. He's like, release me. I will have vengeance for Squirtle Belmont.
Okay, so what Moonbrita's gonna do, she's gonna just try to open this coffin now, just to see if she's right, and she could be completely wrong, but she's willing to take the gamble, and she figures that even if she is wrong, it'll be enough to distract this bozo from being a dumbass.
Yeah, if it's something else, it'll fucking maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you? So like I said, there's no visible opening on these chains. So what is
I was just gonna try to
attempting to
break
open it?
the chains.
Okay.
Squirtle, don't you have strength?
I think I have brick break.
Brick break might work though, wouldn't it?
If only it was made of bricks.
Yeah, that's true.
Fucking Pokemon.
So Moonbrita, so you're just going to strike at the chains then with your dual Haken?
I've got one of two things I could do. I could either strike with my chains, I could either just hit it, or I could probably try to use magic to melt them.
Whatever you want to do, give it a shot.
Let me see. Well, so were you saying this is strike with whatever? Probably doesn't even matter. I'm hitting.
Striking with intent. You are attempting to cause harm to these chains. You could say that it's a strike with intent roll.
Okay, so that's gonna be the strike with intent's right now gonna be the better roll. So let's go.
So roll with dark.
That's a total of 7, which I think is partial 6. Oh, and I basically just choose one.
Choose one from that list. So.
Which is I'm dealing great harm to these chains.
So,
just quonk.
So while while the two Worfs are in their standoff.
You come up with a sound effect then.
Twing.
So you rear back with your axe and you bring it down. I guess on just the center of these chains on this coffin. Kind of makes a kind of a thonk sound. And you do. You deal great harm, and so you, with your mighty muscular strength, you actually do manage to. You don't cleave all the way through, like both layers of chains, but you do cleave through the top layer, and sort of gets stuck in like the second one.
Mhm.
And as you pull your axe back, the chains sort of unravel and
Mhm.
collapse. Not collapse, but unravel and
I
fall
know
off of
what
the
you
coffin.
mean.
Yeah. And yeah, so the coffin is now sitting there unchained.
Okay. Meanwhile,
Okay.
I think I need
Yeah.
a hand.
I open the coffin, and Squirtle, you go help the guy.
Can I roll to have a chat with Otherworth?
If you want to.
I'm also gonna step away real quick. I'm just gonna grab myself a drink.
Okay, go for it.
Because I think Otherworth can hold this stance indefinitely. We have time to talk. That is a 7.
Okay.
So,
On a 7 to 9, when you have a talk with someone with a gold mine roll with heart, on a 7 to 9, they need something from you first. So what was your goal here?
I guess just kind of remind him that, like, we're not the enemy. So, I go up to him and I say, listen. I know that you're distraught. This is very difficult. This is never easy. I've lost my partner many, many times. I don't mention the fact that they respawn in town afterwards. But, we're all here for a purpose. And Squirtle came, and while it wasn't the way we wanted it to go, he did lead us here to this chamber, and there's a coffin right there that I'm willing to bet Dracula's in there. So, why don't, instead of harming each other and reducing our chances of taking Dracula down, why don't we use this energy and beat the shit out of him instead?
Okay. And so yeah, on a 7 to 9, they need something from you first. And yeah, Worf, Belmont, he says, "Fine, you want my help? You want me to forego my vengeance?"
Yes, please.
It's like, well, then I'm going to need something from you first. While he's still struggling with Worf with the chain.
Okay.
I'm gonna make an offer. I'm gonna say, Worf says, when this is over, if you still want to fight me, then you may.
And
he doesn't want to fight you. Never mind. Never mind. I keep
I killed Squirtle Belmont.
It's true, you did.
No, Worf Belmont says, fine, fine, if you want me to forego my vengeance, then here's what I need from you. And he looks down at you, Squirtle. He says, I need you to die. And he twists himself and kicks you, Squirtle. He straight up punches you across the room. Squirtle, take one harm. First of
this
all.
guy's fucking dead.
Ooh.
This guy's fucking dead.
And Squirtle, you collide with the coffin.
Ow!
So yeah, take one harm from the kick. You hit your shells. You didn't take harm from landing, but you did take harm from the surprising kick. And as that happens, the coffin sort of teeters and falls backward with a loud crash. And as it does so, the lid flies open, and you just see sort of like a cloud of dust rise up from the coffin from when it fell, from falling into this like dusty ass room.
Excellent ground type. We can work with this.
And for a moment, nothing happens. And then suddenly you'd see a hand reach up and grab the edge of the coffin. And slowly a figure starts to rise from it. Kind of like really, really shakily starts to sit up. They're very, very emaciated. This tall, thin figure with long white hair, wearing like an ornate coat, and starts to rise to their feet with their hair kind of pulled over their face, and yeah, they sort of really just like shakily rise to their feet. They look like they're really, really weak, and yeah, very, very thin, almost skeletal.
Oh no, Dracula's hot.
And as you say that, the figure hears your voice, Worf, because you said that in character. And they turn their head to face you, and you just see like through their hair, you just see like one like glowing like red eye, like wide. And the figure all of a sudden, with like surprising speed, rushes out across the room towards your direction. But you were just shoved to the side by Squirtle, by not Squirtle, by a Worf kicking Squirtle, Worf Belmont.
Okay.
And so the figure sort of rushes across the room and actually grabs Worf Belmont. And Worf Belmont screams in terror as the figure sort of sinks its teeth into Worf Belmont's neck. And the two of them just sort of collapse in a pile on the floor as this figure, starts draining Worf Belmont of his blood.
I don't think any of us are gonna do shit after that. After what you did to Squirtle.
And yeah,
I think
after
we're all just gonna kind of be like, too bad.
we tried,
Meh.
and yeah, so Worf Belmont is struggling, and you actually see as this figure is sort of draining his life force, his essence. You can actually see that the figure seems to be filling out and like getting some more mass from their like previously like skeletally thin form from before. While conversely, Worf Belmont is sort of becoming desiccated. Like in
Yeah.
the Mummy,
Yeah.
he's getting mummied. And yeah, after a moment, the figure, uh, as this is happening, the figure's hair actually begins to change color. It goes from this like white, gray color, begins to darken, turns black, and then the figure, after a moment, rises to their feet and sort of like just stands up tall and like cracks his back, and you hear like his vertebrae all cracking and popping, and kind of raises his head to the ceiling like he's taking in like a deep breath, and reaches back with one hand and wipes his mouth from Worf Belmont's blood. And the figure turns to face the three of you and says, "Who are you? What are you? What are you doing here?"
Well, I'm Moonbreeder Wilsonwin. Absolutely no relation to any sort of Belmont. This is truly. Um, this is Worf, son of Morg, was it?
Moog.
Worf, son of Mork.
Moog. I'm so sorry. And this is Squirtle. And we were all basically kidnapped and press ganged into through what seems to be some kind of mail mix-up, where some idiot mistook us for Belmonts, and which we are not, and tried to tell us to come kill you. But quite frankly, I'm not even sure if we actually have any quarrel with you, especially since you just took care of that asshole.
So yeah, you mentioned the Belmonts, and the figure uh, turns and looks down at Worf Belmont, who we just finished draining. He's like, I understand. I haven't tasted the blood of that bloodline, and he's got the same voice as Worf. I haven't tasted the blood of that bloodline for nearly 100 years. He says, so rude of me. I'm sorry for not introducing myself. And he turns and he reaches out one hand to you, Membrita,
Yeah,
like in sort of a bow,
yeah.
and kind of takes your hand, bends to like kiss the back of your hand, and says, "Forgive me. Uh, my name is Vlad Tepesh Dracula. Welcome to my home."
Well, thank you, Mr. Lord Dracula? Sir Dracula?
Yes. Any Lord Dracula is fine, thank you.
Well, thank you. And again, sorry for all of the disturbance and the problems. We really have been, the three of us have been pretty confused this entire time about the entire endeavor. It's been something of a mess. And now I know what a Dracula is.
And yeah, Dracula says, he says, so the three of you, you said you were brought here by mistake, but I thank you for freeing me. I've been trapped, I don't know for how long, in that coffin.
Can I make a light link with Dracula?
Yeah.
Because
And actually,
when when someone makes you feel at home, and he's been very hospitable so far.
We're
So-
all like, wow, this guy sure is nice. Actually, we're all gonna make light
So
links
here's
with Dracula.
here's my question. What's that thing around his coffin? Like,
That's a good question.
you could ask him. First of
Yeah,
all,
yeah.
yeah, if you guys don't want to go ahead, it's the last episode. But you're like, yeah, I'll take light links for Dracula.
Do we even have to
I
roll
won't
for
make
it?
you
We're
roll
just
for
like,
it. No.
I
You've all.
don't
This is
know.
the first. Dracula is the first person who you've gotten a good impression of.
well, and here's the
this
and
entire
listen. At
time.
least in Brita's case, she likes weird, scholarly, long-winded idiots. Like,
Uh huh.
it's a thing.
So yeah, I'll take a. Yeah, I'll take a light link. And yeah, so Worf, were you gonna ask Dracula?
Yeah,
about the
hold on,
machinery?
Let me reread how to make links again.
No, just go ahead and write one down.
Oh, I can just have it. I'm gonna make
Yeah,
a
just go
dark
ahead and
one
take it.
though, because number one, I need dark points.
Okay.
And number two, I'm not sure how much I trust old Drac here, because like whether or not I agree, like Worf Belmont, he went through some shit. I get it. He attacked me. I have a complicated relationship with violence myself. I get it. maybe he was in the wrong there, and he's not our problem anymore. But like, this Dracula guy can't be. You know what I mean? There's no.
He can't just be draining people left and right.
Yeah. Like
That's
that
not
could
right.
have been any one of us.
I actually think I'm gonna put this down as maybe not a dark link for her, because it's not that she doesn't.
A maybe.
I don't
link.
think. I think I'm gonna put it down as maybe like mastery or something, because like I think it's that she does think she could learn a lot from this guy.
Okay.
He seems like an interesting person.
So
but
we're kind of running the gamut of impressions on Dracula then.
yeah, Squirtle's like, this guy seems perfectly nice. Moonbrita, I think, is torn because she's like, well, this guy's definitely a void scent, but historically it is possible to make productive pacts with void scent that don't involve you getting your ass killed. So,
But yeah, I'm going to ask, like, who imprisoned him and what this machine exactly does.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and ask.
I did.
That's
That's
not what Worf sounds like.
Oh man.
Okay, so yeah, Worf, we'll pretend Worf asked that question in his normal voice. I don't know, maybe Worf had to sneeze.
I did
For
have
a
to
second.
sneeze earlier. It didn't happen. It's still floating around in my brain.
Worf's tired. Worf's actually just been putting on that voice the whole time. That's not what he sounds like. He's just been trying to sound tough. So yeah, you asked yeah, what yeah, Worf, you asked what he was doing in the coffin and what the machinery was. He says, it's sort of hard to remember, but I was awoken from my slumber. As every century I come back from the dead and I try to conquer Wallachia, and the Belmonts always come and make a big deal about it. But so 100 years have gone by, I woke up from my nap, and all of a sudden, as I was just getting my bearings, I was attacked by a mysterious assailant. If I had been at my full strength, I'm sure I could have easily fought them off. But weary from my long slumber, they were able to overpower me. They tracked me here in this coffin deep beneath the castle. He turns and looks at the machinery that you mentioned. Says, I do not know what these devices are, but I have been trapped here in this coffin, feeling my energy drained gradually, time by time. And when you found me, I was near expiration. I apologize for attacking your friend.
He wasn't our friend.
Okay, well, that's
Thank
fine
you,
then, I
actually.
guess.
Yeah, it's fine. Trust me, it's fine.
In my nearly emaciated state, I must have struck out in survival instinct to regain my strength. Says even now I am only a fraction of my full power.
Well, I was definitely able to determine that this. I don't know where this machinery came from exactly, but again, I was definitely able to determine it was draining your your ether, your life energy, and creating a pretty nasty dark energy miasma all around. By the way, is that still here?
So you, Moonbrita, if you were to look, the dark aura was definitely coming from Dracula.
Okay, which
He
that
was
makes sense.
it wasn't the coffin itself.
Yeah,
The
he's a void
aura,
sent.
and
That's
it's
normal.
even in his like heavily emaciated state, he still had the super powerful energy that was able to draw you deep into the castle. Now that he is drained Dwarf Belmont, he's actually gotten a bit stronger. You can tell his power level has gone up.
Right.
Uh,
My question is like is now this energy like basically just contained to him, or is it still like spewing all over the castle?
so you never really, so honestly, like you never really got the sense that the energy was spewing
Huh.
across the castle. If you like, the castle itself is still imbued with a dark aura. If you
That's weird
remember,
then.
well, if
'Cause
you remember though, Gwonum sort of explained how the castle itself is sort of illusory.
yeah.
So it's sort of imbued because the castle isn't really real. Like the castle is still like an
I
ethereal
get
construction.
so I get
So,
that. What my question then is, what was the machinery doing besides just sort of using Dracula as a battery? Like, rather, what was the battery powering?
that is a great question.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and roll for that because
And
Moonbrita says, you know what? Give me a little bit. She says, I'm a what's called from my world a magitech engineer. I research how to use magic and technology in concert. I'm going to just
Mhm.
take another look at this machine and try to figure out what it was draining your energy to even do, because it must have been doing something.
Okay,
A
yeah, give
void
me that
sent
deep
as
dive.
powerful as you, it would be a waste just to sit there and drain you for no reason.
Okay. While you do that, I'm gonna like I'm gonna ask Dracula like we've figured out that the castle is like chaotic and will reconfigure itself, but there are multiple people from other worlds who have been here who we presume are not supposed to be here. We have met people from our worlds and other worlds that we
Mhm.
don't recognize. We saw Bat Squatch, we fought Koga, we fought
Well, and Konga claimed to be working for Dracula, didn't he?
I think is that true?
If you were to recall, Koga never said anything about Dracula.
He
Yeah.
said his master.
Okay.
Yeah.
Neither did
and
Pharaoh.
also,
So yeah, you
also we
so
fought
yeah,
Pharaoh
you
Man, the king of robots.
uh-huh. You Worf asked this question to Dracula. He's like, I have no idea what is a pharaoh man? Did you say bat squatch?
Yeah, okay, so these
Like
things
what
are normal. All right.
it's like it's like listen, I've been trapped in this coffin beneath the castle. I have no idea
Okay.
what's been
All
going
right.
on.
I
As
just wanted
it,
to make sure that these were not normal.
So I got a 10.
what is a bat squatch?
It's a big thing. It's got
It goes scream,
Moonbrita,
bang,
tell
bang,
me about
bang,
your roll.
bang, 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 bang.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a 10.
Moonbrita, tell me about your deep dive.
So I got a 10 total.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
yeah, she's examining basically to figure out what was this machinery actually powering then.
Okay. Are you just gonna ask the one question?
Well,
Wait
the
and
only
see
other
what
question.
the other one is. If that, because he has
Yeah.
to tell you.
Uh, so the machinery is hooked up to the coffin. There are wires kind of going into the ceiling, but you can't see what it's attached to. As far as you can tell, you've figured out more or less how you already were able to gather that it was not powering the castle itself. You are able to tell sort of, when it was hooked up to the coffin, you could see the energy being pulled through these wires. Now that Dracula is no longer in the coffin, that has ceased, but the surrounding energy around you in the castle has not diminished. So it was taking it to something, but not that something you can see in this room.
Can we determine where it is taking it to and go there?
It's going up, so you could you could try to go up.
That's what I figure. So Moonbrita does basically says, and perhaps with Dracula here to guide us through his castle, we'll have an easier time. I propose that we follow these wires because obviously there is another party involved, and it would be wise for us to determine what's going on.
Dracula says, he says, I don't understand what's going on,
Yeah,
but
the other
I
thing
do
with
promise.
this not being normal. This doesn't seem like where if this is his joint, this isn't where he would normally be, right?
No.
Yeah, I apologize. These are not my usual digs.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dracula. He says, I like I said, I don't understand what's going on, but I do promise that if you assist me in escaping from here and regaining my full power, I will give you great rewards.
Actually, let's speak privately, sir. But in a moment, let's finish what let's start examining what I think. Again, the first and best question is, what was that machine powering? So let's go upstairs.
And so yeah, you sort of say that that you need to figure out what the machine was powering, and as you say that, you actually hear a voice come from behind you that says, I believe I can answer that question. And you turn around and you suddenly see rising. It sort of comes out of like nowhere, kind of like in a spasm of dark energy comes out of the air. And there is suddenly filling the room behind you a like spiraling column of bats. Kind of like a small bat cyclone. And you can actually not sense, or you can't see through it. You can sort of sense there's a figure inside of it. You can kind of see like eyes glowing inside this cloud of bats, but you can't see the figure inside of it. And he says, and actually, Mimbrita, and as this figure appears, you suddenly realize, looking through your aetherometer, that the figure is in fact pulling in dark energy uh, from from somewhere, not necessarily from the surrounding castle, but since you're an expert in ether, to answer your question from earlier, this is where the energy from the coffin was going.
Oh dear.
To this figure seems to have been drawing it in, and the figure says, I really wish you hadn't done that. I was this close to draining the last of his power. And now look, he's up and walking around. I have to put him back in the coffin. This is going to be a huge pain in the ass. And this figure is saying this from within like a cloud of like bats that are like screeching and flapping their wings and like beating the air.
Show yourself, you coward.
And the figure laughs. Pretend it was a more evil laugh than that.
So
And
more like.
actually exactly like that. Mwah! Ah. Says why would I want to reveal myself to people who will soon be dead? And as he says that, Another sort of like dark, energy miasma, like sort of twists in there next to him, and you actually see. If you remember last time, you got attacked by the Reaper when you walked into the room, but this figure was like still standing. This figure has been sliced in half, and
It's the
is
other one.
is
We fought on
wielding
the fucking
two
boat.
sickles in each hand and sort of floating there. You realize that this was the Reaper that originally attacked you in the cavern when you were on the rapids. He says, "For too long, the three of you have been interfering with my plans." He says, "Perhaps, if you can survive this, perhaps we will see each other again. But if you
No.
are smart, I believe that it would be better for you to die here."
Moonbrita just interrupts him. He's like talking, and she goes,
He's
"Shut the fuck up!" and explodes. Actually, what happens is that she says that, and like this brilliant, bright blue flame like erupts from within her. And you guys have played Final Fantasy, right?
Yeah.
You know what Phoenix summons look like, right?
Oh boy.
She basically turns into Phoenix right there. What I am doing, I'm going to burn as many links as I have to make this motherfucker go the fuck away. And that does include that I'm willing to spend all my links, which will kill me, unless somebody, like, manages to get me a new link, like, to relink to me before this scene ends. But I am going to burn them all because Mooney is done. So, the first thing she's doing is dealing great harm to both this guy and the other guy. She's just like, so this is Phoenix going, no.
To the figure and to the other guy as in Dracula or as in the other Reaper?
The Reaper. Not Dracula. Dracula's...
the Grim Reaper and other Dracula.
Okay. So you
we over here we can tell it's another Dracula. He's
so
going
you
Blair and shit. He's fucking
Blair. Lots of people have this accent. It's very common where I'm
like,
from.
I'm not...
So Mumbrita, you strike out with this with the Phoenix Force, and
I mean, yeah.
yes, and the Reaper, the Reaper like goes to like block with the two scythes it was holding, but you sort of just like blow through it. You deal great harm. So take one link for that first of all.
Yep.
Whichever one you want to get rid of.
I'm doing it. Right, thus far it's been Guonum and Pharaoh Man. I'm kind of going in order of importance here.
Okay. So you deal great harm to these two figures. So the Reaper figure, you sort of blast it, and it attempts to block it, but is unsuccessful. And actually, you see as it's sort of engulfed in your energy, its hood flies back, and you see a woman with So Umbrita, you know how you have like the faux hawk thing going on? You got it shaved in the side with the long on the top.
Yeah.
So this is a woman. She's got the exact opposite haircut as you. It is long on the side and shaved on the top.
She has a tonsure. She's got
yeah,
a
exactly.
tonsure.
Yeah, and this figure screams as they are blown away. The other figure, you do blast them. But again, like I said, they are being surrounded by this cloud of bats. And the bats sort of convene and so like block the energy a bit. And like they start screeching as like the bats is kind of being disintegrated. And the figure kind of hisses at you and says, I don't know. He doesn't really say anything actually.
There's not much you can say to that.
Yeah, the figure, you sort of start dissolving this figure's bats. The figure hisses and actually you see it sort of like fold in on itself.
Mm-hmm.
Like as if the figure is wearing a cloak, draws it around itself and kind of like folds into nothing. And so you blast and you actually clear away these bats, the rest of the ones that are in the room, and the figure has sort of disappeared. And so you have successfully driven the figure away by removing your those two links.
Okay, in that case, I guess I'm gonna actually in a minute. I believe I can still stay in. And I'm fucking angry as hell for a little,
So
at
yeah,
least looking glowing
Moonbrita,
and dangerous
you
for a
still
minute.
you are still in Super Saiyan
Yeah.
at the
It's
moment.
called, the ability is literally called Ultimate Form.
Huh. Yeah, your clothes have turned all white. You are currently floating, and you suddenly have two dual Hawkins, and they're like flying around you in circles.
It can't forget it's Phoenix form, man. So you can't forget the big wings and it's Final Fantasy Phoenix. So there's like peacock feathers and shit.
Okay, yeah, I was describing the final form from Kingdom Hearts 2, but
But
sure,
let's
but
por
you're that too.
qué no los dos here, man? Final Form had like the whole angel wing motif. This is just it's Phoenix wings. Cool.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then as that happens, so the figure kind of disappears. You blow away his bats, and you have destroyed the Reaper. And then suddenly, as that happens, you start to hear a rumbling all around you. The walls of the castle of this like dark dungeon chamber you're in deep start to shake, and then dust starts to fall from the ceiling, and the walls begin to crumble around you. Starts like stones begin to fall from the ceiling. And yeah, the castle now suddenly you are
We gotta
deep
go.
beneath it, and the castle seems to be collapsing around you.
So one of the other abilities of Ultimate Form, and again I have to burn links to do this. I can remove someone from danger. So that's 1, 2. Okay, so 3 counting Dracula, and if I do actually count myself, that's 4.
Jeez.
So I'm
Okay,
gonna
yeah.
just fuck it. I'm gonna burn 4 more links, and that's still not enough to kill me yet. But I'm gonna burn 4 more links to get us the fuck out of here.
Whose links are you burning?
I actually changed my mind. I burned Other Wharf and Guonum first. So now I'm
Okay.
burning, I'm gonna say Pharaoh Man, I'm gonna say Sammy Sinclair. Pharaoh Man, Sammy Sinclair, Bat Squatch, and Bill Gilman.
All right, cool. That leaves you with
forgot about Bill
Urange
Gilman.
and Worf, regular Worf.
Yeah, it leaves me actually with, there's Urianger, Squirtle, regular Worf, and Dracula.
Yeah, you
I am left with no Dark Links, interestingly.
yeah, Worf, you forgot about Bill Gilman, and actually there's sort of a flash. The scene cuts really quickly to Bill Gilman in the first area of the castle, and he's sort of he's reading the newspaper on his underwater toilet, and he's sort of thinking is like, those were some nice. I can't remember his voice. I'm just doing Dracula voices now.
Those were some.
Well, hello. There we go. It's like, oh, those were some nice people that I met earlier. Oh, what were there was there were the two of them were Worf and Squirtle, and
I never
Bill
linked with
Gilman
him.
has forgotten about Moonbrita entirely. And yeah, basically, Moonbrita, as you are burning these links, you are kind of severing your connection with these people.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's pretend I'm not going to go through. I can't even remember all the characters you said, and I deleted them off your list. But there's like a montage of these characters, like I don't know, doing something and reflecting on like those two nice people they met earlier. That does not
Yeah.
include you.
Yeah. The thing is, she actually kind of, again, being from the Kingdom Hearts adjacent game, she kind of expected this to happen, but yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so then so the four of you, I guess. So Dracula, Worf, Moonbrita, and Squirtle. So yeah, you transport them. So what do you do to get them out of danger?
I think she's not thinking about it. I think again, this is actually like being in Phoenix. This is like being in Phoenix form. She's literally just thinking, get out of danger. She's not thinking, which means that she is effectively doing an untargeted teleport, which she knows logically is an stupid thing and a dangerous thing to do. But she's also in like burning her own memories to do this, so she's basically just going somewhere safe, anywhere safe.
Okay, so
Which
yeah,
is to say, I'm leaving it in your hands, sir.
you reflexively sort of gather up your energy and pull your friends close to you, and you disappear in like a flash of energy, and the four of you rematerialize, and you are up in the air. First of all,
Oops.
you're not falling though. I guess through Moonbrita's magical power, You are being suspended in the air, and you can actually see below you as the castle is crumbling and sort of falls in on itself. And you are sort of slowly descending from the sky into the rubble as the castle has sort of like fallen into itself. And as the dust is settling, you come down kind of on a gentle rest of the ground, and the grounds where the castle formerly stood. And as you look around, you suddenly notice that you are actually not in the woods that you would have expected where the castle was initially. The surroundings that you see is actually, um, I guess it wouldn't be a familiar sight to you, Mumbrita, but would probably look familiar to Squirtle and possibly even to a Worf from I don't know, from the historical simulations. That you appear to be in a city, like a 20th century Earth city, kind of an urban area. It's nighttime, and as the dust settles around you, you realize that you are surrounded by like sort of this dark city street.
I think at this point, I'm gonna drop ultimate form, and Moonbreed just gonna faint. She's not dead, but she's very much like,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, you have burned through 6/8 of your life force
Yeah.
very quickly. And so the energy fall fades, the phoenix wings fade away from you and Brita. Your hair goes back to the normal color. It's no longer spiky and gold. And
I'd
you're
say
back in.
she's probably like something probably got bleached by that, but yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, you now have a you now have a white streak in your hair, Moonbrita, but you don't notice because
Not
your
that
hair is
anyone
silver
can
anyway, so
tell.
no one can tell.
Exactly.
Yeah, so the four of you, Dracula, Moonbrita, Worf, and Squirtle, you now find yourself in a nighttime city street. Moonbrita, you have fainted after using up a lot of your energy, using your ultimate form technique to first vanquish the people who were menacing you, and then rescuing yourself and your comrades from the castle collapsing.
Right.
And so you are now on the grounds of what formerly was Castlevania. And as the dust has sort of settled, you were not just like sort of standing on rubble, but you can see surrounding you what looks like a city at night.
An
A
early
20th century Earth
an
city.
early 21st century city.
Which again, I think Moonbrita would not be familiar with, but Worf might be, and Squirtle could possibly, depending on how much he remembers from his former life.
This looks just like New Jersey. Ah, shit, I remember New Jersey.
I think we might have gotten rid of and gentrified New Jersey in the future.
And you actually hear, Moonbrita has fainted, but from her pocket, you can hear a voice.
Oh, the Guonum radio.
Guonum was a link that I burned, incidentally.
Can you hello? Can you hear me? What is sort of seems distant, crackling.
Worf to Guonum.
Can you Worf? Can you hear? You're cut through. Crack.
Is something caught in your throat?
Excuse me. That's much better. I'm sorry. It's these summer allergies are acting up. He says, "Where are you? You are. I'm no longer able to sense your presence."
We appear to be in. Squirtle said something about New Jersey.
My God, things are worse than I imagined. Says, I don't understand. The castle began to collapse. We could see it all the way back here from town. And then I was no longer able to pick up your magical signature.
Yeah, I don't know.
Says you, and yeah, Dracula is with you,
Yep.
and he says this is not. I can tell you that we are no longer in the castle. I know that the castle can experience many illusions, but this is not the typical magic of the castle. And Gwenom says, "Is that fucking Dracula?"
Don't worry about it.
You're breaking up.
I can't.
What? Yeah, you.
What you say?
Yeah, Worf, you take a piece of hard candy out of your pocket and like rubbing the cellophane on the crystal. He's like, I can see you doing that. It's not a telephone. And you stuff the crystal in back in Moonbreeder's pocket. And yeah, so as you are looking around, you can sort of see actually there is rising up in the distance. You can kind of see like a dark pillar of energy kind of rising into the sky, like above the buildings of the city. It's not like, it's not like there's no skyscrapers or anything like that. You're definitely just like it's like an urban area. But,
It's New Jersey.
Well, maybe. But yeah, you're not like, it's not like downtown Chicago or anything like that. There's not like big buildings rising to the sky.
Or maybe
It just
just
looks like you are in
Washington,
a city
D.C.
street at night.
We don't
Maybe.
have those.
Yeah, no like huge giant buildings, but yeah, you are on an asphalt street. There are steel or whatever they make them out of, metal trash cans on the side of the road, street lamps. Yeah, you can sort of see this sort of spiraling dark energy rising into the sky.
I think we should get
off in the
Moonbreed
distance.
up.
She's pretty out, dude. She also had 2 wounds already. She's like...
I think Squirtle's been trying to wake her up with water, but like she's still there's so much heat from the Phoenix form still that like evaporates halfway there. It's not working.
Yeah, Worf, you just like kick her.
Ow.
It's like I've tried everything.
Well, I've done all I can.
Oh yeah, what do you guys do?
I don't know. I asked Dracula. What is that? What's going on?
So yeah, Dracula is looking off at the spiraling tower of energy, and he says, "I do not know where we are, but this guy's voice has changed like 5 times. I do not know what Dracula sounds like." Says, I do not know where we are, but that is definitely the energy signature of the person who attacked me earlier. Says, if we are going to vanquish him, then that is the direction we should go.
Okay, well we have to get Moonbreed up. I'm not gonna carry her.
You're not?
I guess I have to carry.
She's
cut to Worf carrying her.
Yeah, Morph, I think it just became apparent that you were the only person who could carry Moonbreeda.
Yeah.
Dracula is still too weak.
Yeah, Dracula
And,
probably, if he had some snacks, he could probably do it, but he has not had enough snacks.
I do think Squirtle made a valiant effort, but was unsuccessful.
All right.
Yeah, so you are moving through the city streets, and yeah, so you as you are coming to this this spiral of energy leading into the sky, you start to approach, and you realize that you can see what looks like up in the sky a so it looks like part of the castle, basically. There's sort of a stone chamber high up in the sky, kind of in the center of this energy, and you can see a tall staircase of sort of these stained glass steps leading up to it, kind of just suspended in the air. You sort of are approaching this. It's sort of
Wait,
in like
hold
the
up.
what you
You
would
said
call
stained
the
glass. Wait a minute, buddy. You said there's a stained glass staircase?
yeah. It looks like the chamber of the heart from Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, no, that was me going, oh god damn it.
To describe it visually. But no flat disc at the top. Just a yeah, again, what looks like a chamber of the castle, and there's like stone crumbling, kind of like falling like endlessly, like a particle effect coming
Yeah.
off of it, but sort of like suspended in the air. At the top of this, yeah, these stairs that rise into the sky, kind of sort of suspended, attached to nothing. And they're sort of in like what you would, seem sort of like the town square, sort of a kind of larger, slightly emptier area of the city. And again, you've been walking through the city streets, and again, you're passing, there's street lamps and what look like people's houses and like small businesses and things like that, but everything is dark and closed up. You don't see anyone else, you don't see any wildlife or anything like that.
We
So
should
it's
ascend
fucking
the
Kingdom
stairs.
Hearts bullshit, is what you're saying.
So yeah, you are approaching this, and as you do, you come into this town square area, and you suddenly, as you begin to approach the steps, you hear a voice again. It's the same voice from earlier. It says, how did you get here? Sounds really confused.
It's a great question.
Moonbrita used her powers to help us escape.
You should not have been able to follow me here. Tell me, how did you get here?
Wharf, size, magic.
And yeah, you see the figure actually. There is a figure coming down the steps, kind of wrapped in a dark cloak, kind of walking the steps, approaching you, and you can see this sort of like this dark energy like billowing from them. Still, like they're not surrounded by bats anymore because Moonbrita blasted those all away, but it's sort of still obscured by darkness. And this figure comes like halfway down the stairs, and it faces you and says, "So you are telling me you used magic to get to Sesame Street?"
Are
And
you
the
fucking
figure
kidding me right now?
opens its cloak and gestures to you,
No.
and you see standing before you a purple-skinned
No.
figure with dark hair, wrapped in a cloak. It says, "I suppose I should welcome you to my domain. Ah.
I hate this.
You have done well to follow me this far. I thought you would perish in the castle."
It's on Sesame Street. We are in New Jersey.
Oh my fucking god.
Yeah, he says, allow me. You have made it this far, so I will honor you with an introduction. I am the Count Von Count, and you, I see, are 1, 2, 3 interlopers who should have died long ago. And lightning flashes in the sky behind him as he laughs.
At this point, I think Moonbrita has like finally started to come to, and she looks at this guy and she says, "Compute to the 4 billionth digit of pi."
What, you think you can just shout the number at me and you're going, I'm not a robot. I don't have to count.
You know what?
I like to count. I don't have to do it.
Yeah, I'm saying though, you know why you're not doing it is because you can't. Because you're a coward. You can only count integers, can't you? You can't count you can't compute pi, can you?
Says, I could compute pi in my sleep. I could compute pi while I'm eating pie. I'm turning Russian for some reason. Hello, my name is Yuri Popinski. And now I have been known by many names.
Jesus.
No, yeah, the Count says, if you knew what I have been through, you would not so cavalierly ask me to count. I do not count anymore. I have left those juvenile desires behind me.
So, what do you do now?
Oh, I conquer the multiverse.
How boring.
Everyone
He
needs
says,
a
you
hobby.
do not. You see, he says, boring. You do not know boring. I cannot. Fuck. I can't. I lost the voice. I can't do it
I gave
anymore.
up on
1,
Moonbreeder's
2,
English
3.
accent pretty early on.
I am the Count. Blah. Blah. Okay, we are back in it. That you want to know boring. He says, first of all, do you even understand that none of you are real?
Moonbreeder's like, yeah, I knew that. I'm dead, you moron! Which I actually think she had not told to Squirtle or Worf, so that's new to you guys.
Does this mean we're dead too? I don't.
Yes, Squirtle. Yes, the turtle.
What? Define not real.
He says, you are all of us. We are fictional characters. We do not exist. We are created for entertainment purposes.
I do not agree. I have met a fictional character before. And I am nothing like him. Professor Moriarty was in the holodeck of our ship.
You think just because something was fictional in your reality doesn't mean your own reality was not fictional?
How could it be? I experienced it.
Who gives a shit? Well, she wouldn't say that. She says, who cares? It doesn't matter if you're fictional or non-fictional, and you're living a life anyway. It's functionally indistinguishable to you yourself, so why get hung up on it?
He says, maybe it is indistinguishable to you, but not to me. Because I come from children's programming, a television show to educate young children about numbers and reading.
Skill issue.
I do not know how long I have been doing this, and my comrades in my world did not seem to care. But I, you see, as you pointed out, I love to count. And one day I began to realize that we were doing the same thing over and over again, and I began to count the number of times that we were doing this.
Okay, Moonbrita at this point, she says, shut up, okay? You know what? Shut up. I'm from a, you know what? If you're gonna break the fourth wall, I'm gonna break the fourth wall. I'm from a massively multiplayer and online role-playing game called Final Fantasy XIV. Do you know what fucking happened to me? I got fridged because one developer didn't like the fact that I was fucking cool. That's literally what fucking happened. I got fridged for somebody else's character development because one developer thought it was weird to have a big buff woman who was also had a PhD. So I got fridged, and the thing is, as revenge, the woman who wrote me ended up getting to be the lead writer on the, award-winning 2 final expansions that just happened. Mostly the award-winning Shadowbringers expansion. So, you know what? Every fucking time some new player of the several million players goes and plays through my part, I get to fucking kill myself for bullshit, stupid plot reasons. I have far more reason than you to be an asshole about it, so shut up.
Says, then you should understand better than anyone why I'm doing
She
what
just
I am
kicks him.
doing.
No, she just kicks him. She's done.
Kick.
Oh yeah.
No, Wimbrita, you're still like half fainted.
Okay. Still a really lame, like, yeah. Stop
And no,
talking!
he's not down on ground level with you guys. You guys are down in this like town square area. He's
Yeah,
like
he's, like,
halfway up these
halfway up the
stairs, right?
stairs.
He's in this guy.
We'd have to
Okay,
go
Yeah, he's
down.
Marina's
pretty far up there. He's
Marina's,
doing
like,
that.
trying to get up to
You
go
know,
fight.
Yeah, you get
let
you
me
get
at him.
winded.
Let me at him.
And she just falls over. She's like,
No,
Worf,
you-
can you kill
No,
this
no,
man?
he turns it
You-
into
you,
the
uh,
fucking infinite staircase from Mario 64, dude.
Yeah,
You just
exactly. Yeah,
keep
you're
running.
trying to get it, and you guys just keep.
You got a
No,
backwards long jump.
yeah, no, Mumbrita, you start to run up the stairs, and then you suddenly find yourself back at the bottom. And you do this a couple of times.
Okay, so she
And,
just sits down. She sits down and she's mentally going, cutscene skip, cutscene skip, cutscene. She actually starts saying this out loud. She's like, cutscene skip. I skipped the cutscene. Skip the cutscene. Fuck your unskippable cutscenes, Kingdom Hearts.
It won't let you skip it. We haven't been the whole way through it once before.
Ah!
Yeah.
Can you skip
the count
cutscenes on
uses
the holodeck?
the count uses the world to deposit you back at the bottom of the stairs.
Damn
It's
it.
like, oh yes, and before I stopped here, I stopped at JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I killed Dio and took his stand. But so you should understand better than anyone, Mumbrita, what I have been through. Do you know how many countries Sesame Street is broadcast
Oh
in?
no.
150 countries. And this show is broadcast 7 days a week, multiple times a week. Do you know how many times that is? And we do not, these are not reruns. We have to act this out every single. Have you seen Space Jam? Because I have.
I
I'd
was there. I killed
rather-
Michael Jordan and absorbed the
I
monsters.
killed Michael Jordan. I took the
Me.
stuff.
Have you considered that
I'm
you're
very
beloved?
good at basketball as well.
Have you considered that you're a character beloved by millions of children worldwide? And like, yeah, maybe you've lost the spark of your job, but like, it's an important job. It's way
These
more important than being
countless
some asshole in an
children, they
MMO.
will love me, and then they will grow, and they will forget about me, and one day they will die, and I will still be doing the same thing. As I said, I began to count the number of times that we were doing these same broadcasts over and over, and you know what I realized eventually? Counting
So
is
you
bullshit.
So you have
Counting
listen,
sucks.
You have a shit day job. Who fucking who? Most people have shit day jobs. You're not dead. You're not dead
like
for
my
some
day job.
other- You didn't get killed off because some dumbass. Wait, what?
I like my job. I'm the security
Yeah.
officer
Most
on the Enterprise
people
side.
get to punch out from their day jobs at the end of the day. They work 9 to 5. They go home to their wife and their kids. Their 2.5
I don't
kids
like
and their
dealing with my
dog.
kid.
No, I don't think Worf does that. I'm pretty sure that Worf is actually, in fact, on call 24/7.
And this is what I am saying. All of you are fictional. You understand, Mumbrita. You are at their beck and call. You repeat however many times. You don't realize, but I do because of my love of counting. I have counted the number of times, and I've realized there is no upper number. It never stops. Usually
know
I
what it
count
means?
to 20 or something, and the lightning flashes, and I laugh and it's over. Do you know how many times I counted that we were broadcast?
Probably in the
Pretend he's-
upper billions.
Pretend he says a number. I didn't do the math. He says
Yeah.
a really big number. And then it never ends.
She's really
So-
beyond. She is so far beyond sympathy for this at this point. She's just like, you're a loser.
He says,
Like, again, she's sitting here being like, skill issue, dude. Skill issue.
so over the endless hundreds of thousands of hours of broadcast time, I concentrated my will for a way to escape.
Can I make a dark
And
link with him because
eventually-
she's so fucking done?
Can you what?
Can I make a dark link with him?
Yeah, take a dark link. Fuck it. Take whatever links you want.
Yeah.
I don't care. Everybody
Hey,
take dark links with the count.
It matters for me.
And yeah, he says, and eventually I gathered my will over thousands of reruns, and I was able to break 3, and I found myself here in Castlevania and that is when I became open and realized the reality of the forgive me for using the expression, the multiverse. So I did what any self-respecting vampire would do, and I overthrew the local vampire lord, and I stole his energy. And now that I have done that, I will conquer this world, and I will move on to all of your worlds next. And once I have conquered every reality, I will return, and I will take my vengeance on the public broadcasting system.
So you're a Republican?
Oh, Jesus.
He says, but enough monologuing, enough talk. Have at you. And as he says that, he sort of gestures, and down at the bottom of the base of the stairs, those same like dark portals, like twists of energy, kind of open up, and you see appearing in front of you. First of all, you recognize Koga appears in a puff of smoke, standing at the bottom of the stairs, and standing next to him, another portal opens up, and Sammy Sinclair is there now too. And then another portal opens up, and you see half of the Bat Squatch appear, and then another portal opens up next to it, and the other half of the Bat Squatch appears. And yeah, the vanquished bosses from earlier in the castle have appeared. And he says, the Count says, "Take care of them, my pets, while I finish up preparations." And the Count, goes back up the stairs as he leaves the three, technically four, figures at the bottom of the stairs menacing you.
Castlevania boss rush.
Damn it, I burned my links with most of these people.
Yeah. Well, I still got a link with Koga, so I think I can do something there.
Yeah, so Koga's kind of standing in the center as not Dracula, as the Count is moving up the stairs. And the Bat Squatch, its two halves are kind of like they're trying to fly, but it's not really working. They're sort of like not really getting off the ground because each of them has like one wing. And yeah, Sammy Sinclair is like, Blair, I'm a vampire now, I guess.
Well, and I think the best way to convince Sammy is to be like, how much is the man even paying you? Is he paying you?
Says,
Have you been paid yet?
I haven't been paid. It really sucks. But listen, I was trying to leave the castle. I fell down those stairs. I was fine. I don't know. I guess I'm a vampire now. I don't know. And then he used some kind of dark magic on me, and now I'm like a thrall to him. I don't know. He turned me into a vamp. He was biting my neck. It was part of the contract. I thought it was kind of weird, but I'm into. I've been around the block a few times. Thought it was normal, but now I'm a vampire. I should have known better. We got those on Ganymede.
He did fuck Spanx' aunt. He's into some weird shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, sticks and stones may break my bones, but whips and chains excite me. You know what I'm saying?
All right, I'm gonna go.
I can say that because the kid's not here. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm like his thrall or whatever now. And yeah, Koga is just sort of standing there, Worf.
Yeah, I'm gonna go after him. I'm gonna run up to him and I'm gonna be like, Master Koga, we have spoken before.
And Koga is he's just sort of standing there with his arms are crossed. He's sort of standing in like a pose like this, and his scarf is kind of pulled over his face. He's kind of like glowering at you. What do you say to Koga?
I'm gonna have a chat. Because I have a goal in mind. I want to convince him to act honorably, to be with our prior. Like, I bested this guy in combat. If anything, he should be
right.
I wanted to, and you like wrapped up last time. I wanted to actually talk to him last time and be like, "Can I count on you if we have to fight Dracula?" But I never got to do that.
Okay, yeah,
Right.
roll for that. Have a chat.
Let's see. Okay, 5, 6, that's a 7. I can give someone else lift. I'm not helping anybody. What do I roll with that?
Aren't you supposed to? Yeah, you're
Heart.
trying to convince him of something. Yeah.
Heart is +1, so that's 8. Oh,
That's a 79. It's a partial success.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, so Koga he looks down at you, Worf, and he says, "It is most dishonorable for me to go against my employer. I could not do that according to my code of honor. But," and as he says that, he turns around suddenly and he throws a shuriken, and it actually stabs the Count in the back as he is rising up these stairs. And the Count kind of like, "Wow!" and like kind of like falls like to one knee on the steps. He's like, "But my employer is not an honorable man. And Worf, you have shown me your honor." Yeah, Miss
I hear
Mouse.
cat.
That's Miss Mouse. She woke up and she's mad at me.
Meow.
He says, "Worf, you have bested me in combat. You have given me the honor of an honorable defeat. But this Count, what he is talking about, there was no honor in these actions." And he he turns back to face the Count, and he said, "Jesus Christ, Miss Mouse." And he said, and yeah, those are the sounds of the Count just like yelling in pain in the background, like, "Oh, Jesus Christ, you stabbed me!" He says, I will deal with this dishonorable foe myself." And Koga rushes up the stairs at the Count, and the Count kind of turns around and like opens up his cape and like flies backward as Koga goes up the stairs after him.
Okay.
And yeah, but now so
Koga.
the rest of you though down at the bottom of the stairs, and actually as this is happening, you see one more portal appears, and out of it you suddenly see the form of Worf Belmont suddenly appears, and he is still like desiccated. His eyes are like milky white, but he like growls at you, and you see fangs in his mouth as the vampirized Worf Belmont has also been summoned by
Love it. You love it.
the Count.
But our Dracula turned him into a vampire. Shouldn't our Dracula be able to just be like, "Hey, don't do that, dumbass"?
And Dracula says, "Normally I would be able to control my thralls, but unfortunately this Count has absorbed too much of my energy. He is too powerful of a necromancer, and he is able to control you. I assume from looking at these that these are all enemies that you vanquished
Yeah, I
on
told
your
you
Yeah.
about
way
them.
to find me in the castle.
I
He
described
is a
every
powerful
one of these
necromancer.
happening.
He is a powerful necromancer, and he is able to control the dead and bend them to his will."
Well, but
So,
Sammy's.
yeah,
I don't know if Sammy's dead, but Koga's obviously not dead.
right. Koga turned against him. "Sammy, I'm a vampire. Remember?"
Dracula,
Blah.
can you actually tell if Sammy is in fact dead? Like, you've got.
Dracula
have
looks
to
at him.
be
He's
dead.
like,
You don't
"Yep,
have
that's
to
that's a vampire, all right. I
They don't have
know
to be
one when I
dead to
see
be
one.
vampirized.
It takes one to know
Remember
one."
Blade?
That's different.
What the? Oh, come on!
Sammy's like, "No, I'm not a daywalker.
No,
Unfortunately."
not literally.
I've seen Blade.
Yeah, we've seen Blade, but in Blade,
Yeah,
fucking-
Blade. Yeah, I'm pretty sure
were like the ones
I
where they,
think
like,
I took
drained
that
them a
guy
little
in for a
bit.
bounty once.
Oh my god, that's right. I forgot about it.
Sammy, Look, I've got a bit of a headache, but even through this headache, I see. Aren't you some kind of musician? How does this help your musical career?
Oh my god.
What can I say? I'm a thrall.
What about
What can
your
I do?
fans? What about aren't your fans more important to you than like can't the love of your fans, like your number one fan Cherry Cola, and your
No,
other number
that's
one
not right.
fan, and your other number one fan,
Emmy.
Emmy.
What,
your number one
whatever
fan,
his name
Emmy.
was.
I'm sorry.
It's been
Could
a
that-
long
Yeah,
Can't
you
that
know what?
override-
I used to be really into music, and like nowadays, I'm just like I'm really into blood,
You know what? You could be into
like
both.
blood and drinking it.
You could get into black metal.
Maybe I'll. He's like, yeah, that's a good advice. Maybe I'll get into a black metal career after I rip your head off.
All right, so I'm gonna try to roll heart despite all of my stuff getting like totally wasted, and to try to convince him that this is a stupid plan.
I'm just gonna
Um,
tell you straight up that these guys are just all being controlled by Dracula. I don't think you're gonna be able to convince them.
Yeah,
Well, whatever
never
you
mind
want,
then.
but
Never mind then, I guess.
yeah. So yeah,
Okay,
yeah, you guys
instead-
were having this yeah. What's up?
Instead, I'm gonna just try to cast Holy.
Okay, go
Fuck
for it. Yeah, cast magic. So yeah,
And
and
that
you guys are
actually-
having this conversation, and actually, so the three of them, so Worf Belmont, Vampire Sammy, and the split Bat Squatch, they all rush at you. And yeah, Worf Belmont, he seems to go straight for you, Worf, regular Worf.
Okay. All right.
As if he died while you two were in combat, and maybe he imprinted on you, but he is rushing toward you. The two houses of the Bat Squatch again, Moonbrita, they are they are like bouncing at you and like shaking the ground as they jump. And Sammy is like, "I guess I'm gonna kill you, turtle guy." And he just
So-
pulls out his gun.
Okay, so
I'm a
Moonbridge-
vampire, but I use a gun. I'm mixing it up.
Hold on.
I
I'm gonna roll
really-
something, and I'm gonna roll and see what happens before I announce what I'm doing.
It's not Blade, it's Underworld.
So I barely succeeded. I got a 9, but I have a +1 because I still have my mastery link from Dracula and Worf. Madrina doesn't normally try to cast this magic. This is like, white magic. It's not her thing, but she's also like from this like Phoenix thing, and she's like, you know what? I think I can do it. I think I can do it. Final Fantasy XIV Holy is a big ol' AoE that it does technically do holy damage, and mostly it does a stun.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's just she's trying to and it of course targets your enemies, not your allies. So she's trying to just get all these undead motherfuckers to go, "Owie, that was bright."
So roll cast magic.
I did. I told you. I got a 10.
Oh, you got a 10? I didn't hear that part.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So you are attempting to basically stun them with holy magic?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So what does this look like? What does Final Fantasy XIV Holy do?
Oh, let me. Okay.
What is the visual effect?
Well, so there's like a Actually, how about I just bring up the YouTube video?
Oh,
That's
boy.
simple.
Yeah, that's perfect for a podcast.
Never
Yeah, I
mind.
definitely won't
Well,
get
you
demonetized. As if I have monetization.
So basically, she holds up her axe, and like there's this sort of like bell-like sound, and like light comes up from under her feet, and explodes outward in a huge blast of light, and that's basically it.
Okay, cool. So
Shwing!
yeah, you do that, but this doesn't actually harm them. This is just sort of like a stun attack.
Well, in the game, it definitely also harms them. Like, it definitely does damage. It's not a lot of damage, but it's a combination of damage and a stun.
Okay, well, I think so. You do this attack. You said you got a 10, right?
Yeah,
And so that's a complete success.
yeah.
So I think you do this. You draw upon your reserves. You cast your first actual spell of the entire game. You cast this holy area attack, and kind of the energy goes out, and kind of lights up the area like day for a moment. And it does stun them, but also like you are attacking these like vampires with
Yeah.
holy magic. And so yeah, actually the three of them that are rushing at you, they suddenly get swept up in this holy magical energy, and they actually just like sort of begin to like dissolve away. And yeah, Worf Belmont, he sort of like hisses. He's not very he did not have very much humanity restored to him. The two hands of the bat squanch sort of like screech, and it sort of fades into nothing. And Sammy Sinclair is just like, it's like, ooh, ouch, ack. And he's like dissolving into dust, and he does the whole Pee Wee Herman death scene from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He says, "Oh no! I guess this canonically happened. I can no longer come back for any CU Space Cowboy holiday specials." And yeah, Sammy Sinclair dissolves into nothing. And,
Okay,
yeah, so did
she's
the
actually
Bat
Belmont
Squanch,
is
and
still
so did
there.
Worf Belmont.
She's like, oh.
What's that?
I said Worf Belmont is still there.
Worf Belmont is gone.
Oh, okay.
They all did.
All right,
Yeah, so
never
you
mind.
actually, yeah, you have managed to sort of, you basically just like nuked this area with holy magic, and vanquished these three vampiric
Well,
foes.
then I'm gonna take back
Three,
everything
maybe
that I was
four.
gonna do.
Sorry.
And yeah, so you are in this the light fades, and you find yourself in this town square area at the bottom of these stairs, and the enemies that were coming at you are gone.
So Squirtle's been kind of watching all this happen, and the wheels are turning in his head. Everything about how everything is fictional, and then he sees Koga and remembers how the Pokemon were in the ball, and everyone has a master, and he thinks to himself, if that's the case, then this Count guy is made of felt. He's a puppet. So I don't know how to do this mechanically, but I want to walk off the set and find Jim Henson and tell him to take his hand out of the puppet.
Unfortunately, Jim Henson is dead.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a vampire. I don't know. Maybe that's maybe vampire Jim Henson is behind the whole thing. There is not an edge to the set that you see, Squirtle.
I can't
You
take a
look
panel off something and.
No. So I don't think you're
buildings are
being
just
broadcast
cardboard.
for one thing. No, you are not on a set though. You are in an actual city. You are in the actual fictional world of Sesame Street, not on its interpretation through the lens of television media.
Well, but Squirrel might have watched Sesame Street at some point in his life. Can you summon Oscar the Grouch or something?
If the way that we have to do this is we have to sing, I'm gonna fucking
Kill Alex?
Gonna
that. I'm gonna
type
ban him
something
from the
up real
server.
quick.
I'm gonna
Don't
delete all
worry
of
about
this.
me. Okay, yeah. So you but yeah. So what do you do though? You're at the bottom of the stairs. Koga chased Dracula up there.
Yeah, we should go up.
And yeah, you cannot see them.
No, chase the count. Quit. You keep mixing them up.
Well, actually, but you know what? As you turn around, Moonbrita,
Yeah.
Dracula is looking at you. He's like, "You really didn't think that through, did you?" And suddenly Dracula dissolves into dust.
Oh no.
And from the effects of your holy spell that just killed all the other vampires in the room.
Oops, I guess I did what Glodum told me to do.
Mission accomplished, let's go home.
Actually,
Yeah,
no,
and yeah,
it shouldn't have hit him because Holy is only targets enemies. He's not my enemy.
yeah, but are you in Final Fantasy or are you in Castlevania?
Well, see, that's why
We're
she
in New
wouldn't
Jersey.
have thought about it that way.
So yeah, you did not expect this. Yeah, but you're playing by New Jersey rules, Moonbrita.
I don't know what a New Jersey is. What's old Jersey?
Yeah, New Jersey is PvP enabled.
Oh, well, see. But no, where I'm from, PvP means you're on is only team PvP. You only have team PvP.
But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, she's mad at me.
Oh my god.
But yeah, the Jesus Christ.
All right, let's
Yeah,
go fight
you
the
have,
count. Let's get
yeah,
over this.
you vanquished the other vampires, and yeah, Dracula's like, well, I guess I'll be back in 100 years, and yeah, dissolves into dust.
Oops. Sorry. Hopefully, no hard feelings, my guy.
The Castlevania credits like scroll really quickly, and then you're back exactly where you were. Keep talking. What are you gonna
Go
do?
deal with your cat. All right, so clearly we get. Let's go up the fucking stairs. Let's get this over with. Let's go.
No, I'm with you. I'm just doing it. It's just that Moonbraid is like pretty much I think spent for the session, and I'm just like, come on, let's just go. I tried to just kill him, you know.
Come on, how hard could it be to get this guy? He's made out of felt, for
All
Christ's
right,
sake.
so yeah, so you go up the stairs.
Yes.
Okay, so you have you succeeded in your quest. You killed Dracula. So yeah, the three of you minus Dracula, who is dead, are ascending up these stairs. As you rise up this stairway, up these stained glass stairs, I don't know, whatever the you hear like Kingdom Hearts music.
Yeah.
It's like the dramatic rendition of Dearly Beloved is playing. Yeah, that sort of thing. So yeah, you're rising up these stairs, and as you do, the sort of city background kind of fades around you, and it's sort of replaced with like pitch darkness. And yeah, as you are rising up these stairs, sort of like spiraling into the sky up to this like council chamber you see above you, you see ahead of you Koga lying on the stairs.
No. Well, Worf, it's on you.
Is he clearly dead or?
So as you approach, he's breathing. He's still
Okay,
alive.
that's good.
And he sort of sits up as you approach him. He says, "I'm sorry. He was too powerful of a foe, even for my ninja tricks."
And I just say, rest here. We will take care of him.
And as you are, and yeah, so you
I'm gonna just grab a link with Koga. I don't know which would be appropriate though.
yeah, like I said, just take. I'm not gonna make you roll for him at this point. Just take whatever
Okay,
link you want.
the heart link. This guy did good by us.
Okay, you
And this is
I'll do
also
that
again
too,
just
if
because
they're
of my
free.
particular. It's also
You need
my
as many as
particular
you can get.
class. I need these. And the thing
Yeah,
is, I actually have an ability that lets me steal them from other people, but I'm not doing that because I don't want to be a dick to you guys.
yeah, Koga says,
Suddenly I feel nothing
he
for my
he,
butt
he
left.
already defeated my Zubat and my Ghastly without a nearly it was most dishonorable. He didn't even use his own Pokemon. He just punched them.
Are your Pokemon okay?
You can't punch another. They're knocked out. I take them to a Pokemon Center. They'll be fine.
Just making sure, buddy.
Oh, what?
Like, thankfully, he did not
Universal health care.
knock out. He injured me and escaped his tower chamber. Thankfully, he did not take out my last Pokemon. Otherwise, I would, of course, be blacked out and wake up in a Pokemon Center with all half of my money gone.
What an interesting
Who is your
world you're
last
from.
Pokemon?
Anyway.
He reaches into his he reaches into his belt, Worf, and he pulls out a Pokeball. And actually, he reaches out and he hands this to you. He says, "Here, I wasn't able to use this in our last encounter, but take this. I trust you I can see that you really have raised your Squirtle with honor. I trust you as another Pokemon trainer. Take my last Pokemon and vanquish this dark foe."
All right. I take the
And
Pokeball.
actually, you take it. You take his Pokeball. He's like, "Oh no, I'm out of Pokemon," and he passes out.
Well, I mean, that's a quick way to get the hell out of the situation.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's half of his money.
Yes.
I'll be
Squirtle,
taking
yeah.
that.
Squirtle, you mug Koga. Take half his money, stuff it in your bag. It's like, fuck that guy.
Wow. All right. We go up the stairs. We move on.
Okay, so yeah, you rise up these stairs. They keep spiraling up. You found Koga, part of the way up. And yeah, as you ascend, you come up to the top, and as you approach it, you can see what looks like, again, it's part of the castle. You can see it's like stone and stuff like that, but it looks like basically a throne room. There's red carpet, stained glass windows in the background, and there's a giant throne in the center of the room. And yeah, as you approach, you can actually see the Count is sitting in this throne. He's holding a glass of blood. He's kind of swirling it in one hand. Says, I see that you have defeated my lieutenant. And yeah, you burp to show your disrespect.
Sorry.
It's like, how uncouth. I cannot believe that I did not destroy you with my dastardly castle.
It will take more than a castle to defeat us.
And so yeah, I keep wanting to say Dracula, but the Count says, well, you might as well call me Dracula, because I have absorbed all of his powers. I felt the last of his essence drain away down there moments ago, and I absorbed the last of his energy before it could fade into the ether. I have now all the powers of the Count and of Dracula, and I am now undefeatable. Ah, ah. 1, 2 vampires. Ah, ah, ah.
We will see about that.
And he says, I have come too far to allow you to disturb me any longer. I threw that Belmont down a manhole. I attacked the others so they would not get in my way. And then the three of you, wherever you came from, have been a thorn in my side for far too long. Says monologue, monologue, monologue. I already said this earlier, but enough talk. And he throws the wine glass, and it smashes in the ground. Have at you! And yeah, the
Heard the
Count
circus is in town.
the Count rises as dark energy kind of flows around him, and he rises from his chair.
Okay.
And he waves his cloak, and 3 fireballs shoot themselves in your direction at each one of you.
Dodge, duck, dive. I swear I make that stupid joke every session, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So there is.
okay.
So you did. I don't know if you've read enough of this, but there is actually a playbook in Interstitial where you can take moves from a different game.
That's
So
not-
you could actually
That's ridiculous.
take, if you wanted to, as I think it's the role player playbook.
Yeah.
You could actually say that some of your
That's
moves
so
come from
stupid.
CU Space Cowboy and
I
take
love it.
whatever they are, whatever the descriptions are. You just change it so if it mentions the name of the game, you say the name of Interstitial instead. You change whatever cost it takes to links instead. So you
All right.
could, if you had taken that
So,
role, you could
I
actually use dodge,
actually-
shift, duck, dab, and dodge.
I actually want to throw the Pokeball.
Okay.
Nice. Do it.
Do you do anything to dodge these fireballs
I'm
flying at you?
hoping that it will intercept.
In Smash Brothers, they'll hit each other and it'll bounce back and open and the ball will be gone. So
Yeah. So Worf, so you throw this Pokeball. Moonbrita and Squirtle, what do you do? Because you were also having fireballs flung at you.
I was going to.
These all, whatever the 3 of you are doing, they're all happening instantaneously.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I need to do to dodge, which is to say that I'm. I'm gonna dodge.
Okay.
I don't know.
Give me I don't know. Give me a push through stress. Give me with dark.
And I'll cast
Okay.
magic and we'll say it's Surf.
Okay.
You said with dark?
With dark. Yep.
That's a 9. So, and unfortunately, I
Okay,
am at
so
2 harm, but
partial success. So yeah, you on a 7 to 9, you either allow them to reroll. No, that's the wrong one. On a 7 to 9, you make it through alive. So you can either take harm or you can spend a link.
I'm gonna take the harm because that leaves me at 3 out of 4, and I need links for other things. But at that point, I'm gonna have to start spending them.
Okay, so yeah, you take harm. The fireball hits you. You are not able to dodge out of the way. Squirtle, what are you doing?
I casted magic to use Surf, but I got a 6, so the situation is complicated in an unpleasant manner.
Okay. Interesting. On a miss, something has broken bad and the situation has escalated. Get out of there now. Okay, so yeah, you cast Surf. You cast Surf. You use the move Surf as a Pokemon. And yeah, so you are attempting to sort of summon water out of the ether. But you are in this sort of suspended castle chamber up above the sky. And so water begins to rise from the cracks of the stones around you. And yeah, it does, put out this fireball as it rises up around you, but also just completely dissolves the concrete. And Squirrel, you're
What?
now falling backward. It's not the concrete, but the masonry between the stones of the castle that you're in. Kind of dissolves it, and yeah, the ground beneath you crumbles away, Squirtle, and you find yourself suddenly falling in midair.
Oh crap! Not again.
And then also, and also while this is happening, hey, unfortunately, you don't have any links left to summon Rayquaza. And yeah, as this is happening, Worf, though, you said you threw the Pokeball. So you throw it, and it collides with the fireball in the air. Like Squirtle said, they sort of deflect each other. The fireball dissipates, and the Pokeball pops open. And from it comes, there's a burst of white energy. And then out of this Pokeball, there appears in front of you it's sort of a 3-headed cobra. Its body is a crystal sphere and it is flying in the air. Its 3 heads are hissing. It is semi-translucent and yeah, kind of surrounded with glittering energy. And I think, Worf, you probably recognize it as an Aldebaran serpent,
Hell yeah.
which is actually a dangerous predator from your not your world, not from where are Klingons from?
Klingonia.
Not
Kronos.
Kronos. Thank you.
Kronos.
Well, it's not from either of those places. No, it's a reptilian-looking life form native to the Aldebaran system. But yeah, I think in your adventure with the Starfleet, you actually recognize this as a dangerous predator from your universe, Worf.
All right.
And I
It's
don't know,
not-
perhaps you were able to gather, on his trainings in outer space, Koga perhaps picked this up
I guess.
and was using it as his last Pokemon. And yeah, so this this hovering 3-headed cobra with a crystalline body. It is semi-translucent. You can see through it, kind of covered in glittering sparkles. And it is hovering in front of you. And it is just sort of sitting there, just waiting for your command. Meanwhile, Squirtle, you are falling to your death.
Ah!
I'm gonna tell my what is it, Eldarian?
Aldebaran.
Aldebaran.
Aldebaran. Aldebaran.
I'm gonna yell for the Aldebaran
So it's
serpent
a spelling bee.
to save Squirtle.
Okay, so yeah, the Aldebaran serpent. You command it to save your friend.
I'm gonna affect the
slash
outcome.
turtle son. Okay, yeah, give me that roll.
That was fucking 3. 4 maybe.
Ouch.
Either way, it was a failure.
Yeah, it made things worse.
On a miss, you've opened yourself up for consequences and made things worse. So you command the Aldebaran Serpent, and it flies down to rescue Squirtle. But as it does so, like I said, it's semi-translucent, and in order to catch Squirtle, you see it sort of become like more physical. It becomes solid. It reached out to catch him, but as that happens, suddenly there is like another warp of dark energy, and fucking Dracula, fucking the Count, suddenly appears in the sky in front of them, and like slashes his hand and decapitates your serpent. And it
No.
is, and yeah, it's sort of just like the three heads sort of like fall, the crystalline body dissolves, and as that is happening, he reaches out and catches Squirtle with his other hand.
Okay. Moonbrita is like does the thing where she just sort of hangs her head and she's like, "So it's always gonna end this way, huh?" Okay. And she's gonna do it again. She's gonna go into Phoenix form again, and she's gonna burn another link to get Squirtle out of this.
Okay.
I'm gonna burn the one with Koga this time.
Okay. That leaves you with light with Uranje and Dracula, right?
I've got light with Urianger, I've got dark with the Count, I've got mastery with Warp and Dracula, and actually it turns out I locked my link with Squirtle, but still.
You still spend it, it goes dormant after you use it.
Yeah, I think I might not die in that case, but I'll be
it's
completely out of commission.
It's still spent. I don't know. We'll figure that out.
I haven't used it yet.
Happens.
We'll figure that out when we get there.
Okay. So you spent your link with who?
Koga.
Okay, you spent your link with Koga. Okay, sweet. So what are you doing?
I'm getting Squirtle out of danger. I'm basically just, and again, she's a teleportation expert, so she's just basically gonna be like, boink.
You're just gonna bamf in and out.
So yeah,
yep, bamf.
So Dracula, fucking the Count, appears behind Squirrel and says, "Nothing personal, kid," and goes to bite his neck.
Moonbrita says, "Actually, it is personal."
And yeah, Moonbrita, you appear behind the Count, and yeah, you grab Squirtle from out of his hands. And yeah, you have removed him from danger. You are now holding Squirtle in midair. The Count is in front of you though, and yeah, he hisses, and he sort of swoops his hand in front of you, and he causes a large like blast of flame to blast you in the face.
In that case, now the thing is that I can, so ultimate form is that I just completely burn my links to do stuff. I can still roll and not burn. So I'm gonna roll this time, and this is gonna be again attempting to push through stress to get out of this, although I know that I'm gonna be rolling less and less as I burn. That is a 9. So, or actually no, that's an 8. It's still a partial success. Pushing through stress to kind of like, and mostly I'm trying to just protect Squirtle.
So yeah, on a partial attack, made it through alive. So you're gonna take harm. Or you're gonna spend link.
Hold on. I want to affect the outcome on that. Let me try to do that.
Thank you.
Okay, I got a what do I roll? Light or dark? That doesn't help me. Okay, so I got a 9, but because Moonbrita needs my help, and will help however I can give myself lift on that, which makes it a full success.
Okay, cool.
So
what do you do to help?
Lift.
Okay, so that's a full success then.
Well, so what is this narratively though? How does Warp help?
I'm yelling. Here's the thing. You guys are like floating and falling like way down. I'm just like leaning over and I'm like, go get him.
Okay, and I actually do have an explanation, which is this is a power that Moonbrita doesn't know about, but it's called Dynamis, and it's basically the same power as the bullshit power of friendship in Kingdom Hearts. It exists in Final Fantasy XIV as well. So Worf is just believing, and it's his power of friendship that he is in fact believing in so strongly that like it gives Moonbrita enough energy to teleport back up to the platform to be like, whoop.
Okay. So yeah, Worf, you believe in Moonbrita so hard
Yeah.
that Moonbrita, you suddenly had this burst of energy, and yeah, you and Squirrel transferred back up to the column, not the column, the platform
The
that you're on,
platform.
the throne room that's floating in the sky. And yeah, the flame sort of just misses you, goes through the area you were before, but the Count, yeah, vanishes again in dark energy and warps back up on. Again, he's floating over the throne room again. He says, "The three of you are becoming very tedious. You know that?"
Okay. I'm.
She says, "Tedious this," and strikes with intent.
Well, what's Worf gonna do?
Yeah, let
Oh,
me.
let's let Worf
I
go.
Also, I was
wanna
talking
roll the
first.
dice before that, but let me see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, roll the dice
Hold on.
first, and then tell
a
me what you're trying to
there's
do
a thing because I
based
I
on
got,
your
I'm
roll.
trying to do it. So here's the thing. I got a 7. What I want to do, and that's actually perfect. Worf isn't trying to do this, but the way that everything has happened, I have my Batleth out, and I just run towards the Count, and I'm casting magic. Worf doesn't know he can do this, but it's just like the power of the whole situation and all of this. He just erupts in flames, and his Batleth becomes like flaming, like
Okay, hell yeah.
yeah. Like he's
Yeah,
just
Worf,
he's
you
just
are
like
also
it's the
going Super
reality that we
Saiyan.
are in the fantasy world and all of this is fucked up, and it's like he's just so mad and everything is going on. He's just finally just like reaching deep down in and connecting with the world.
The primal Klingon ancestors.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, now my Batleth is flaming. And
Okay.
it has a major complication, but it works according to 7 to 9.
Okay.
So that's in
Yeah.
your
What was your?
I didn't know 7 of 9 was here.
Yeah. Yeah. In Worf's earpiece, 7 of 9 has been talking this whole time.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah. So what was the effect that you were trying to cause with your cast magic?
I mean, I want the palette to be flaming and to be like, I'm just going to go attack. Yeah,
He's
I'm
a
going
Muppet and he's a
I'm
vampire.
going to attack the Count.
2x weaknesses to
And it's-
fire moves.
So
Okay.
then it's up to you how you want to complicate that.
Okay. So you
Adjudicate.
so yeah, Worf, you tap into this ancient well of energy within you, and you unknowingly cast magic, and yeah, this fiery aura bursts around you. Your Batleth bursts into flame, and yeah, you're attacking the Count with it.
Yeah.
I guess you dive at him. But a 7 has a major complication, but works. Okay, so yeah, so what happens then, Worf, is that you leap at the Count as he says this, and yeah, you burst into flame. Your Batleth is suddenly flaming, and you drive it into the Count's heart. And he says, "The legends are true. The legendary Super Klingon."
God damn it.
And yeah, he hisses and pulls back away from you, Worf. But he takes your Batleth with him. And yeah, he is suddenly on fire, but he has disarmed you.
Okay.
But yeah, he is hissing and like yelling in pain as he is suddenly, yeah, again, as Squirtle pointed out earlier, he is made of felt and stuffing. And he's a puppet that was made in like the 70s, so like he's probably like entirely made of like super flammable like carcinogenous materials. So yeah, he bursts into flames and he is like screaming.
Okay.
And he sort of collapses back onto the throne in like a charred husk. But as he is like sizzling, suddenly it's sort of like a cracks appear like in the charred like felt surface.
Okay.
And then suddenly he starts to like Yeah, sure. Actually, you know what? Yeah. So like cracks appear in the charred surface and like the felt starts to fall away. And then you see there is behind him a disembodied hand inside of the count. And the hand yeah, it's sort of like, twisting like in pain as like this this charred surface is falling off of it, and then kind of like curls it on itself, and it comes back up, and the hand has two googly eyes on top of it. And it says, "So you have defeated my form. You've revealed my final form."
Oh my goodness. I can't say that I'm sorry. This is fucking hilarious.
I don't like this at all.
And yeah, he says,
guess
"So
I'm
you
fired."
finally have revealed me as the disembodied, vampirized hand of Jim Henson."
Who's Jensen?
It's like, wouldn't you like to know? Unfortunately, you'll never find out because you'll be dead. And the hand flies at you, Mumbrita, and it's like just trying to strangle you, but there is a disembodied arm, so just like hanging limply off your neck. It's going rah 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 as it's like chewing on your neck.
Ah!
Yeah, and the hand goes oh, just like the angry Kermit the Frog face.
She just sort of drops it on the ground and is just like,
And yeah, the disembodied hand slash arm is on the ground, like it's like twisting and writhing, and like I'll destroy you for this.
How do we get out? How do we leave this place?
Squirtle, do you want to do the honors as the person who probably could have been the most harmed by Sesame Street here, personally?
It would be a pleasure. And he walks up and kicks the arm off the platform.
And yeah, the arm just kind of like goes flailing through the air, like off into like the abyss, like, "Ah!" And you just sort of see it disappear. And yeah, the arm is gone. And yeah, suddenly you find yourself alone in this throne room, and you have vanquished the vampirized, disembodied hand of Jim Henson, which was the puppet master all along. I planned this.
You're welcome.
From episode 1. This was what I always intended to happen.
I'm gonna pick up my bat left now.
Yeah, the bat left is left just like sitting on the throne. And yeah,
Rita's sort
so
of like, I don't know what I'm gonna do now.
so yeah, so you see,
Yeah, we're stuck in New
so
Jersey.
so yeah, now you're in this floating throne room in New Jersey, and yeah, you are left alone in this throne room, and you hear again from Umbrita's pocket. The crystal of vision suddenly pipes up,
Oh, yeah, go on.
and Gwonum, whose voice I can recall,
Squadala!
we're off. Squadala! So you, it's in too many voices. Well, I am Gwonum. Gwonum sounds like this. Yeah, see?
Alright, come on, man.
Look, like I said, I gave up on trying an accent. Just whatever, dude.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Gwonum says, "Well done, Moonbrita, Squirtle, Worf. I can tell that the dark energy over the land has been dissipating. Dracula is once again defeated, and already Wallachia is returning to harmony."
Oops.
He says, well, it may have been unconventional, but you did succeed at your quest. Look, the birds are singing. Squadala!
Do
Wharf
I
to
get to be
Guanum.
alive?
How do we
Again?
leave? How do we get back to our homes?
Gworf, I can't go back. I'm dead.
Well, maybe that's good.
Gwenum says, I don't know. I do not know where you are. I was able to overhear from his conversation that with you that you appear to be in some ancient land known as Sesame Street, but I have never heard of this land in any of my poring over of the ancient maps.
It may exist in your future.
Like perhaps. And you I don't know, somebody want to roll me a deep dive maybe?
8?
Okay, ask me a question. Or ask me 2, and one of them will be a lie.
How do we even want to go back?
You're asking me that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Mambrita can answer that for herself, at least, which is that she would love more than anything to go home, but she can't because she's dead. So unless we figure out a way to bring me back to life, I can't go home.
Yeah, I guess if you are actually asking me from my interpretation, yeah, I like exactly what Teal just said. Mumbri would love to go home, but is currently deceased. Squirtle, I believe, your whole goal is that you've been trying to get home and just sort of sliders in between these alternate universes. Who knows how many adventures you've had before finding yourself in Castlevania after beating Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. And Worf, I assume that you would want to go back and get back to your duties on the starship.
Yeah, they need me. Deep Space Nine
Like
is going to be
this
very
holodeck
different
simulation
if I
has
don't
gone
get
on
up
for
there.
far too long. I am burning through all of my paid time off.
Wait, they don't do that in Starfleet.
There's a whole
Universal basic income, man.
they do, but then they have gold press latinum.
Yeah. Well, okay, no, that's Ferengi bullshit. They don't count.
Let's just we don't have time to adjudicate this.
Well, that's a space capitalist count.
Bonham says, I cannot see where you are. Can you describe the place you are in to me?
We're in the Count's castle, possibly a manifestation of Dracula's castle, in the middle of a city that's possibly New Jersey.
Where at the castle do you appear to be?
In the throne room.
Says the throne room. Interesting. And you hear like rustling paper as like Gwonum appears to be like going through his documents.
As he's looking
He's
through the
flipping
Nintendo
through the
Power
strategy guide. Yeah. It's like, sorry, I printed this off from GameFAQs earlier. Sorry, I had to download a whole 2 gigabyte file. Fandom has been deleting all the text guides off of GameFAQs, and I had to do my part to preserve it. So I'm sorry it took me a while to navigate through this large text document. But I have here.
Can you fucking imagine?
It says,
Good God.
in the throne room, what do you see? And yeah, so if you were to look around, you see, like I said, there's the throne in front of you. There are some of these stained glass windows, and then you notice behind the throne on like an elevated platform, there is a floating shape. You would describe it perhaps as like a D20 shape floating on a pedestal.
Okay.
And yeah, so I assume you notice this. You point this out. You describe it to Gwonum. He says, that shape, that must be gasp. He says the word gasp. Says that is the icosahedron. Says this is a very powerful artifact. This is what Dracula uses to transport his castle to different areas of the world. I have read about the potential powers of this device, but have never witnessed it myself.
Well, then I'm gonna reach out and I'm gonna touch it.
So yeah, you
Why doesn't Worf just take us to Starfleet, actually? Because
So
I'm
yeah,
pretty sure as long as I don't go home.
so yeah, Warp, you actually so yeah, you reach out and you just touch like a random side in this D20, and it sort of like spins, and then you see like this sort of white energy kind of fill the air
19?
around you, and you yeah, you tap the side that says 19, and Worf, you actually suddenly find yourself back in the forest that you recognize from when you first started your journey. In the ruins of the castle, which is this sort of like throne room, just like sitting there, like on the ground.
Okay.
And Gwenum says, what did you touch it? What did you do? Says, I can sense you again. Your
Yes, I
magical
touched
attunements have returned to Castlevania, Wallachia, wherever we are.
Yes, I touched it. We appear to be here.
As clearly, this device must transport through some sort of interdimensional portals to take it to the places where Dracula wants to take it. Says, if I were to study this, I may be able to figure out a way to use its power to return you to your worlds. It may take me years, if not decades, of
I touch
research,
it
but
again.
I promise I will not rest. And yeah,
Wait, Moonbrita says, wait, Worf, I think, hold on. She just puts her hand on her shoulder. It's like, okay, when you touch it, I just want you to think about your home. I want you to think about this starship you're from. Just try to stay as focused as you can on that destination. If there's like a crystal on your ship, that'll help. Just focus on it.
I think about that for a second, but then what I actually do is I think about where Squirtle's home is.
Aww.
Which
Okay.
one?
I don't know, New Jersey.
Yeah.
No way!
So yeah, the again, that sort of white energy sort of fills the air around you, and then you suddenly, the throne room, which is all that is left of Dracula's castle, suddenly, yeah, you find yourself in. It looks like at one point it may have been a child's bedroom, except you just crashed a throne room into it, and so there is
Great.
a giant hole in the ceiling that you have crashed part of a castle through. There are like pipes broken in the walls, like spraying water. And yeah, Squirtle, you recognize though, among the wreckage, you recognize your bedroom. You see your bed, your computer, your Game Boy Advance is lying there on your bed.
Holy shit.
Where are your parents?
We might have just landed a castle on them.
What?
And
All right.
I'm still a turtle.
Wait, you're not normally a turtle?
Well,
I'm kinda like-
maybe once he gets out, he'll like turn back into a person.
I guess I'd step out of the throne room into like the house.
Okay, yeah, you step out. No, you're still a turtle.
Great. Well then,
Ow.
all right. Anyway, we gotta. I look at Squirtle and I say we have to get going. But before I leave, I have one thing left that I can get. It's called Tired of This Life. I can give my weapon to someone else and pick a new playbook, and they gain lift when they follow in my footsteps. I hand him my batleth. And I say, use it well, Squirtle.
I grab it, and it's 3 times as tall as me,
Yeah,
and I'm holding it for a second, and I will treasure this forever.
Squirtle is back home with his parents, who are gonna be like, "You're a Squirtle.
Okay.
What the fuck?"
And I go
Yeah,
and
you just hear from the basement. You hear, or not from the basement, from outside of your room, Squirtle. You just hear, Jim, honey, it's time for dinner.
1 minute.
Jim,
Anyway.
my adult son with a beard, it's time for dinner.
Boy. All right. And I touched the D20, and the next thing you see, I think, if you'll indulge
Yeah.
me,
Tell me. You guys just tell me what happens to you.
Worf is getting in the turbo lift, and he's going down to his security office. And when he comes in, you guys see Moonbrita in a science uniform, like the blue science uniform.
Yes.
Yeah, according to Star Trek rules, Moonbrita, I think you count as a hard light hologram.
So fucking excited right now. Do you have any idea? She is like annoying every single person on this ship. She is like, she's like,
Worf's
hey,
the actual reason that you're in security is someone has brought you here to be like reprimand you for being in places you're not supposed to be in, and I have to be like, we talked about this.
Stop going in the warp core.
Yeah.
That kills people.
It doesn't
Yeah,
kill me. I'm immune to that.
Moonbrita, yeah, you now exist inside of the computer of the Enterprise.
I'm like, I'm immune to Borg too. I don't know if this is cool or disappointing.
All right, yeah.
All right.
So yeah, Worf, you I guess you shake your head or whatever, and you begin to sternly reprimand Moonbrita, who you still have a dark link with, by the way. You never liked her.
No, I spent that link.
No, he did actually. He did.
I had to spend that link.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so
Pickles
yeah,
now.
All right.
so yeah, Moonbrita, I don't know. I think you're wearing a a blue science uniform.
Oh yeah,
as a new
100%.
member of Starfleet.
Yeah. She's
Yeah,
so excited
Worf
about this.
is reprimanding you. And yeah, you'd sort of see it cuts back to Squirtle's world, back in his bedroom. And yeah, you are going down the steps to where your mom has called you for dinner. And yeah, as you're doing that, Squirtle, there's sort of like the camera kind of shifts, like it rotates, and then you can sort of like see like a mirror in your hallway as like suddenly you are in a human form again. You see the form of like a human child going down the stairs, but you are still carrying the Batleth, which is still taller than you. You are no taller than you were when you were a turtle.
It's like cutting a hole in the ceiling.
Yeah, and I think so you see that, and then just the last thing you see is sort of the camera pans back up into the night sky, and then it pans back down, and then you just see sort of the rubble of Castlevania in the forest of Wallachia, and then you see the big crescent moon in the sky, and as it's rising, you just see the image of a figure on a magic carpet. This kind of flies in front of the moon with hands raised in the air and goes squat. And yeah, the end pops up on the screen.